Alright, this is a bug-eyed caddis. This is what the finished product will look like. Very nice imitation pattern. Catches a lot of fish. And what I will be tying with is a size 14 Dairiki hook, along with some olive thread. I use light thread. I like 70 denier for this light little guy. Start off with a base of thread, and then what you want to do is get this little 2mm thin foam. You can get this at Hobby Lobby. I think I got a 50 pack of different colors for $5, something like that. Then just cut off a very thin strip, about that long. Doesn't have to be too long. I always cut it way too long because I don't want to not have enough and then be screwed and have to retie. But nice and thin, and then tie that in. You're going to get a piece of hackle here. I'm using some rooster neck. This brown and ginger. Now you're going to want to palmer this foam all the way up to about an eye length back from the eye of the hook, and then tie it off. Now you're going to want to wrap your hackle. You can use a lot of hackle, a little hackle. It doesn't matter. It's all preference, really. The fish don't care. They see food and they eat. But if you want it to fly a little higher in the water column, just use a little more hackle, and then it'll be fine. Cut off these top strands of hackle, just so that your overwing can sit down nice. I'm using whitetail deer tail, just the brown part of it. I find this works a little better than body hair because it's a little longer and just lays down nice. Doesn't flare up like the body hair does. Brush out all this under fur. It's over here. You can just do it with your fingers. I use a toothbrush. Works nice. You don't have to measure when you're putting this on because you're going to snip it off in a second anyway. Make sure you give plenty of room between where you're tying it in and the eye of the hook, because on small hooks like this it tends to get a little tight and your eye gets crowded real easy. Just tie that down. Spread it out so it's covering the whole hook shank. Snip the butts. Now this is not like an elk hair caddis where you use the hair itself as the head. That's why I call it the bug-eyed caddis, because I use foam. Now what you're going to want to do is measure about a hook shank back from the bend of the hook and snip all these fibers off in a straight line. Really gives a nice wing look to it. Now you're going to take a piece of dark brown foam, same thickness as your body, and cut a little thicker strip than you would your body off. Show you how big. Could be however long you want. I mean, it doesn't. I do pretty short because I can just trim it then real easy. Just about that thick. Now what you're going to do is put that right next to that deer hair because it tends to slide forward a little bit every time you figure eight wrap this. And then just tie this in right here. Now that you have that tied in, wrap up. Just tidy this up a little bit. Make sure all that deer hair is nice and wrapped down. Just whip finish. I do 3 turns, 3 to 4 turns. Doesn't matter how many. I do it twice because I like my flies to last. I don't want to get one fish out of it and then have to change flies. And always, always, always add a dab of varnish. And now all you gotta do is take these 2 strands right here, pull them up straight, and then snip them. And look at it later and then just make sure they're as even as possible. Straighten them out here. And there is your bug-eyed caddis. If you look at a picture of a real caddis, it's got these great big eyes that stick out in front. So that's what I'm imitating. Instead of using elk hair, I'm using a piece of foam. And I hope you enjoyed my video. And get out there on that river and catch some trout. See you next time.